Hello, good day. It's the 30th of April 2024, and there's some heavy energy around. Surprisingly, we've already gone through full moons and eclipses and stuff, but you can feel the eclipse season always kind of dredges up a lot of things that need to be faced. Things that are needed to be judged, like judgment is kind of like an energy that's going on at the moment. Things of injustice that's out in the world or in our personal lives, like the changing of the season, like as we're kind of like drawing nearer and closer to summer, and yet it still feels like winter. All of those things. So I picked the cards, I shuffled, and I kind of like brought in Lunar and Helios to light up what was needed, what cards were needed to be drawn at this time for messages for those who might hear or see this reading. And as I was shuffling, this happened the last time as well, actually. Three flipped up the opposite direction as I was shuffling. So I dropped those three onto the table, and that basically means that they are the ones that had the energy with the messages for today. So, and I'm just going to check if that is reversed as well. Yeah, okay. So I had already turned them around thinking they were reversed, like because of the way that they fell, the way that I tossed them onto the desk. So the King of Cups, okay, here we go. Like emotions of a more Marsy type feeling in a way, I suppose, like male energy, but the actual pivotal point of emotions. So like they're really brewing. They're like, you know, you've gone through kind of like a building up stage, and it's literally reaching its end at this point. Like you're filled with it. So there's a lot of stuff coming to the surface. Things that might even be years old are coming to the surface. Things that like you pushed down and carried on with, tried to like not register the pain or the emotions at the time of something happening. So you just carried on, or you out of necessity had to carry on, or like, you know, put them down and said, right, okay, I'll deal with that at a later time, or even tried to bury them altogether. Like, you know, this is like things that can be like trauma or like, you know, heartbreaks, stormy seas, as you can see there. Like, so this is something that was right turmoil for you, like not so much despair that would be bringing us further down. This is like turmoil of an emotional event or past events that is still surfacing. And as you see, like, you know, he's got like this stone throne, like, and it's floating along the stormy seas. Okay. And we have the fish there, and we have the ships. So like ships that are still sailing past, like we're still going on about our business, but all of this stuff is happening deep inside us. But at the moment it has surfaced to actually be in our moment. Like we are recognizing that there is still stuff that we have to let go of. There is still stuff that we have to just let flow and sail away. That ship is there for us to pile all of these emotions into and let it sail on by. Just don't carry it anymore. And then like the throne itself being stone, that is what it's done to us. I see the throne as the heart. Okay, the cups is the emotions, the water is the emotions, and how turmoil and you know, activated they've become again. But the throne itself is like where you have become like stone, like your heart has been hardened. And all of these emotions have not been able to flow effectively because you've hardened your heart. You've turned yourself into stone so that you couldn't feel anything. And all of these emotions had nowhere else to go. They didn't have a channel to flow naturally. There wasn't a healing well for them to go to. There wasn't a flow to a new life to go with. The stone throne is what's actually made that water be more turbulent than it might necessarily have been. So this boils back down to a previous reading where it's actually a lot of the time it's ourselves that extends the suffering of a painful event in our lives. It's how our minds hold on to it and attach to it and put a story to it. It's how we turn to stone so that we can deal with the trauma. It's how we bury our emotions rather than facing them in the moment. And that only prolongs the suffering. So that is the message there. It's time to let go. It's time to soften, time to take a risk, time to allow yourself to be vulnerable again. Open yourself up to failure. Open yourself up to hurt. Like, hurt is a part of life. Heartbreak is a part of life. I witness other people, they have breakups. It hurts a lot. They struggle a little bit, but then they're like, they know that life is to move on. Like, you have to move forward. So this is what the card is saying here, is don't hold yourself in a statue stone formation to protect yourself, because you can't move if you're made of stone. Like, you can't move at all, okay? You're becoming your own Medusa by doing that. Like, you're looking yourself in the mirror and turning yourself to stone. And like, it's an unhealthy way. Healthy is going to be putting all of this emotional turmoil and turbulence into this ship to let the ship pass by. Load it off. Time to let go. And there we go. Time to let go, because with death comes a new beginning. You let it all go. It turns like into the transformation from death. Like, so the past dies and you now have room for a new beginning. Okay, and the death card is Scorpio energy. So we've just had a Scorpio full moon just gone past. The rose cross, like the Rosetta here, like I always see that as a element of the esoteric, like the Rosicrucians, like, you know, Western like mystery tradition. So it's the magic of being reborn. It's the power of transformation. It's the strength and the courage to get on that white stallion and to walk forward. As you can see, like, it's faced this way. This way is forward. If you want to look at the 3 card spreads as past, present and future, I haven't read it as that, but when a card is facing that way, it means you're moving towards something. And if the card's face or horse was facing that way, then it would be saying that you're looking at the past, but you're coming from it. Like, this one is looking to the future and moving forward. So new beginnings. And as you see, like, we have the Hierophant and the Sun, Helios, on the card, which like points to a new beginning, like not a silver lining in something past, but a bright new future. A bright new future. There will be no more begging. There will be no more looking at the past or begging for there to be some kind of like change in our lives, or to find something less stressful. This is the new beginning. Let it all sail away in the ship here. Let it all go. Cry if you can. I've not been able to cry for 2 years, so this could, again, like relate to me in my circumstance, but it's obviously to relate to someone else here as well, like, you know. So let it all go. Do whatever you need to do to let all of those built up emotions go. so that you can have an emotional death, so that you can make new for the Hierophant, which is like the spiritual higher self. Okay, so hand it off to the higher self, and then you'll have a bright new beginning. And then we have the Hanged Man. So like this is someone that is, you know, I've got this, like no worries, not having to stress, quite happy to just hang upside down and let the blood flow down and rejuvenate all of the vascular system. Like, you know, kind of like, look at the face on them, like, you know, they're just kind of lying there, just kind of meditating even, like, you know, and see how the sun is around his head, like, or the halo around the head. That's a rejuvenation of the mind. So it's kind of like, you know, when you're lying back and shaking your foot in the air, or if you're on the bed and maybe you were a kid that used to lie on the bed backwards and put your legs up against the wall, and you'd be there thinking or singing along to your favorite music. It's a place of rest, or a place of in the moment, the exact moment, and allowing rejuvenation of the blood cells and of the mind. Like, so this is allowing all of the blood to drain from the legs down into the head to rejuvenate the head. So that kind of light is coming from here to here. Okay, and you know, you're not looking like you're struggling or anything. You're quite happy, la-di-da, you know, like you've got a very secure beam here, like there's no issues of falling down and hurting yourself or anything. This is a place of acceptance. The Hanged Man is a place of acceptance, and from where you've come from, you've let it all go, let it all out, let it all go, transformed it, given it a death, transformed it into new life, and now you're just giving yourself the acceptance of, yay, okay, just taking a little rest here before I move on. Okay, so I hope that's been useful to you, and I wish you a good week. Like, this is only like Tuesday, so like I hope you have a good week.